Now, admittedly, I might be a little bit behind. It might be a little bit too late in the year already to still talk about this. But I have opinions and I like to chat, so here I am anyway. Today I'm sharing my fashion ins and outs for 2025. These are just going to be things that were trending in 2024 that I either want to leave in 2024 or ones that I do want to take with us into the new year. And in case you haven't seen me before, I'm Erin. I'm 24, I live in New England. I have 2 cats and a boyfriend, but the cats are more important. I'm actually a chemist, so I don't work in the world of fashion, so these are just my opinions. Take them with a grain of salt. I do not claim to be any kind of fashion expert. I am just a girly who loves clothes. Anyway, before I start going on a tangent, let's just get straight into it. I'm gonna alternate ins and outs, and we're starting with an out. Out for 2025 is letting people tell you what to wear. This includes me, this includes anyone on social media, including experts like, I don't know, fashion critics, designers, and editors. So you might be sitting there watching this thinking, hypocrite much? Yes, pot, kettle, I know. I can talk about fashion and share my opinions while also recognizing that you really shouldn't listen to me or anyone else except yourself. If I like something that you don't like or vice versa, then that's great. We all have differing opinions, and you should always wear whatever it is you want, what makes you comfortable and confident and happy. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks or says. So I just want everyone to keep that in mind this year and throughout this video, that our opinions are just that, opinions. And you can choose to take them or leave them as you wish. I mean, we're all just people living on this spinning, floating rock in space, so at the end of the day, who cares what other people think? Alright, now I'll get off my soapbox, and my first real trend I want to keep with us in 2025 would be bows. I know they're everywhere, it's definitely gotten a bit oversaturated, but I personally really like them. I actually haven't purchased anything with bows on them per se, but they're in the back of my mind. I think they're really fun and girly and cute, very coquette, which for me is a style I really enjoy. I love dresses and skirts and all things girly. There was a whole year, I think when I was in 1st grade, where I pretty much refused to wear pants. So why I got into a profession where I have to wear pants every day, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it, but I love a good girly fashion moment. Now, do I think bows need to be on absolutely everything like we've seen this past year? No. I've seen bow lamps, bow bedding, bow t-shirts, and if you have all of that all at once, it's a lot. But a little cute bow moment here and there, I am so into. It's very cutesy, very demure, and yes, I know that whole TikTok soundbite is also out of trend now, but I haven't been able to stop saying it still. Next fashion out that I want to leave in 2024 would be synthetic fabrics. I'm talking polyester, acrylic, nylon, etc. And I really urge everyone to check the fabric composition on the things that they buy and own. If you're on a website, they should list the content somewhere. Some brands don't do this, and I always take this as a bad sign, but your clothes always are going to have a tag somewhere inside of them where it lists the fabric composition, usually by the washing instructions. And for me, if I see anything that contains polyester, nylon, or acrylic, I avoid it at all costs. And I'm not going to say this is an easy thing to do because the majority of our clothes are made out of synthetic materials nowadays. And why is this? It's because it is easy to buy, widely available, and cheap. Of course, there's a range of quality in these materials, just like there would be for natural materials like cotton, silk, and wool. But for me, I avoid them because they are, at the end of the day, plastic. Your polyester sweater is plastic. That is just the truth of it. And I don't like wearing plastic. It's not very breathable. I don't find the quality to be good, even if it's like the nicest, most expensive polyester out there. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be a totally sustainable shopper. I absolutely am not. But polyester, nylon, acrylic, and other synthetic materials and clothing will never, ever biodegrade. They're going to sit in a landfill for thousands of years. And also, every time you wash a synthetic piece of clothing, microplastics are released into the water, and microplastics have become a huge environmental issue. They're polluting our oceans, and if you eat fish, you're eating microplastics because the fish consume them, and then you eat the fish, and it's a vicious cycle. Of course, some of these materials can be recycled. We're seeing an uptick in recycled polyester. I find this to be more of a greenwashing tactic than anything though. Yes, recycling is obviously good, but do we remember the whole reduce, reuse, recycle motto? You're supposed to reduce first, then reuse, then recycle. Recycling is like the bottom of the barrel, the lowest tier you can do. And if you see something made out of recycled plastic bottles, that's kind of even worse to me. It sounds good. Again, I think this is mostly greenwashing, but plastic bottles, if you keep them in a bottle, they can be recycled many, many times. Many more times than they can be if they are threads, especially if they are mixed in with other fabrics. If something is, say, 50% polyester, 50% cotton. If you wanted to then recycle that piece, you'd have to try and separate the polyester and the cotton, and that just can't really be done easily. So basically, synthetic materials are extremely bad for the environment, and I just don't think they're that nice of quality. Especially if I see a really expensive piece, say a $200 dress made out of 100% polyester. That is so not worth your money. If you want to make sure you're buying nice quality pieces that are going to be worth this money you're spending, check your compositions. So I guess that leads to an in, and that would be natural materials. We're talking cotton, linen, silk, wool, alpaca, things like this. These materials are breathable, biodegradable, and for me, they're just usually better quality overall. I would choose a 100% cotton sweater over a 100% acrylic sweater any day of the week. Yes, of course, sometimes these materials are going to be a little bit more expensive, but I have found plenty of affordable natural material options. And of course, there is always secondhand shopping. For example, today I'm wearing a 100% cotton outfit actually. This is a 100% cotton blouse that was my mom's from I think the late 80s or early 90s. And this is a Staud dress that is 100% cotton. And no, you can't just trust brand names for quality and composition. I always check the drop down to see what a piece is made out of. Staud, for example, while I have found to be really high quality, this dress is one of the most beautifully made pieces in my wardrobe. Not everything of theirs is made out of natural materials, despite the price tag. I've literally been on designer brand websites where they're selling 100% polyester pieces for hundreds of dollars, and this is just such a waste of money. The next out for me would be barrel leg jeans. Oh my god, I cannot believe these caught on actually. I started seeing commentary about this back in the summer, and honestly it was mostly people criticizing these and saying how much they hated them, but for some reason I've still seen so many people on social media hopping onto this trend. And again, you do you, take my opinion with a grain of salt. If you like them, I love that for you and I'm not going to judge you, but for me, I absolutely hate these. I like a good structured moment. I like something that's a little bit out there, but I just cannot understand why we want these like weird shaped pants. Some people have said they look like clown pants or they make you look bow-legged, and yeah, I am just not a big fan of these. I wouldn't blink an eye if I never saw these again. I will also say though that I've only seen this trend on social media like so many other trends. I've never actually seen this in person. Although I'm sure if you live somewhere like New York City or LA, you've definitely seen this and see other trends more often in real life. Let's talk about an accessory that I would like to keep into 2025, and that would be bag charms. These started to become really big in the latter half of 2024, and I think it is a really fun, accessible way to accessorize and really show your personality. I think they're kind of cute and kitschy, although of course some people think they're gaudy and silly, but I just think they're fun. Plus, I do think it's fun to have a trend that more people can participate in if they wish to, because a little bag charm 9 times out of 10 is going to be more affordable than an entire bag or a piece of clothing. I had to go grab my bag that has my bag charm because I actually got one for Christmas. These are little marshmallow jelly cats that my mom got me for Christmas, and I just think they're the cutest little things in the whole world. I love jelly cats. I have a bit of a jelly cat collection. Here's one. So for me, I think this is just super cute in a way to show something that I love. Of course, there are some other cool girls who have some more like fun ropes and chains and very chic things, but let's be honest, I never have been and never will be a cool girl. I'm much more grandma chic, if I'm being honest, I think. Next on my list of outs, I have the office siren aesthetic. I do feel like maybe this is starting to die down a little bit, and I have to be honest, I really enjoy the look of this aesthetic. I think it is very early 2000s, very Devil Wears Prada, and I like the look, but I've seen people saying they're wearing the style actually into the office, and that's a big no-no. In 99% of offices or workplaces, you could absolutely not show up wearing one of these office siren outfits. They're supposed to be a little bit sexy, a little bit undone, which is great for the weekend or a night out, but I cannot imagine HR would like to see you coming into office like that. I don't know, in real life at my job, I don't really see anyone wearing anything weird or inappropriate, but from the outfit of the days, like what I wear to work videos on TikTok, it seems that some people really are wearing some crazy things into work. Now I have a 2-for-1, and that would be ballet flats. I would love to keep seeing ballet flats and bringing it into 2025. Yeah, it comes in and out of style every few years, but overall, I think it's a pretty classic shoe silhouette. They come in basically any color. I think they're pretty comfortable and they look good with so many different styles, whether it's adding a feminine touch to a more masculine outfit or just fully embracing the girly girl look with a dress and a pair of ballet flats. I even love the Maison Margiela tabbies, not that I could ever afford a pair. I understand why these are so polarizing. I get people not liking them, but for me, I think they are so different and fun. The cloven shape is actually inspired by a traditional Japanese shoe, which is just such an interesting history behind this silhouette. Fashion and history have always been intertwined, and I love to see something old brought into the modern day. Although to be honest, I've never tried on a pair, and I do wonder how they'd be comfortable because you have a piece separating your big toe from your other toes, and I don't really know how I feel about that. But the ballet flats I want to leave in 2024 would be the mesh, like netted or clear PVC ballet flats. Alaya really started this trend, and I'm so sorry, I have never understood this. What is the point of having a mesh shoe and walking around the city like that? Plus, I don't really want to see your toes in your shoe, if that makes sense. Like toes, if you have a sandal on or a flip-flop, fine. But mesh covering your toes, I don't get it. And I kind of feel like it just defeats the purpose of covering your toes, if that makes sense. I don't like the look of them, they don't look all that comfortable, and I just don't get it. Maybe I'm not cool enough, but they aren't for me. Now another trend I want to keep in 2025 would be colorful or patterned tights. I've always loved a good pair of tights, and I am still gonna hold on to my red tights for as long as I can. I don't care if they go out of trend. I think they're fun. I think it is a fun pop of color in the drab winter seasons especially. It is so gray and so dreary up here in New England, and so many people just commit to wearing dark colors and black in the winter. I love to include a little bit of color where I can. Again, I think this is another fun, easy, and affordable way to add some personal, colorful touches to your outfits. Plus, every time I wear my colorful tights, it makes me feel like Willow from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That is one of my all-time favorite TV shows, and also the fashion in that show was chef's kiss. So stunning. Each character had their own individual aesthetic, and I just love it so much. Willow, in the first few seasons when they're still in high school, used to wear colorful tights all the time. Another out for me is AI, specifically in the fashion world for this video, but I wish we could just get rid of AI in general. I hate it. I hate it so much. I just feel like we are heading down a really tricky path, and I'm gonna be honest, maybe I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I'm very worried. There is some quote, I'll see if I can put it here, but it basically says, I want AI so that it can do my dishes and my laundry. That way I have more time to do and create art. Not for AI to create art so that I have more time to fold laundry and do the dishes. And this is exactly how I feel. I understand the concept of AI as, this technological advancement that is supposed to make life easier. I just think it's a slippery slope, and I would hate for, all of these art pieces and these pieces of clothing to be designed by AI. I want real human artists to design my clothes, not a machine, not a computer, a person. Another thing I want to keep in 2025 would be a drop waist skirt or dress. Admittedly, I have been eyeing some of these all year. I desperately want to get my hands on one. I just need to find the perfect one because I think this is such a beautiful silhouette that, is a little bit different than what you usually see, but would still be pretty easy to incorporate into your day-to-day styling. And in general, I would just like to keep our long skirts. I love to feel like a little fairy princess walking around every day. If it were still acceptable to wear a ball gown, I would. I'd also actually like to leave suede in 2025. Now, I do own some suede. It is beautiful, decadent, luxurious. It is a delicious fabric, and I think it looks so chic in person and online. Suede is extremely delicate and difficult to take care of, and I just don't want to be that precious with my materials. Now, a suede piece of clothing might be a little bit more easy to take care of, like I have a suede waistcoat. But shoes and bags especially are things that I don't want to be precious with. I want my clothes to be nice, yes, but I want them to last, and I don't want to have to worry about them every time I wear them. So for me, this is one that I really like the look of, but I just don't think it's practical enough. That's why I was kind of surprised that so many people hopped on the suede jacket trend, because it is just not an easy material to take care of. One jacket I would like to keep in 2025 would be the barn jacket. I haven't bought one yet, although I am very, very tempted. I know some people really don't like it. It is heavily associated with, old money, English countryside styles like the royal family. And yeah, maybe this isn't a trend that is going to last because it is peaking in popularity so fast, but I love the look of a barn jacket. For me, this is a classic jacket that would be easy to throw on, and it is supposed to be practical. This is something you would wear in a barn riding a horse out in the countryside, which means it is supposed to be durable and comfortable. And for me, that is the name of the game. I want all of my clothing to be like that. And that is what I want to leave you with if you've made it this far in this video. Just wear whatever you want this year. It doesn't matter what anyone else says, myself included. Wear whatever it is you want and whatever makes you feel happy. Anyway, that's a wrap. I'm gonna stop rambling, and I hope you have a great 2025.